Hi, this is Anne again with a quick anagram on how to use jsFiddle as a way for typing in and testing code snippets from our Head First Javascript textbook. This is the jsFiddle website, which I have just landed on. This is its default format and look. You may get a bar up here that prompts you to choose a framework. If you do, just close that bar. What you want is this basic empty framework. There are 4 quadrants here: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and our results if we were drawing web pages, which we aren't at the moment. All we're going to do is have some code, and I've chosen a snippet from page 8 of chapter 1. It's just one of the example pieces of code there. Having typed it in, you see that the little editor window here gives you some nice features in terms of colorizing the output. If you had forgotten, for example, to close a quote, not only do more things turn green than you might expect, but you begin to get error messages and a lot of helpful features here. So I'm going to close that quote again, and I'm going to run my code. We have a dog object. And the weight of that dog is 35 pounds. So we should see uppercase woof, woof. To get the code to run, I hit the run button, and indeed we have a deep-throated large dog on the page. You can play with this as much as you like. Change the weight of the dog to 15 pounds. Run it again. See that the dog makes a little woof, woof. Or perhaps an arf, arf. Run it again, and the dog makes an arf, arf sound. There are functions in the examples in the textbook that won't work. So, for example, on that same page, there's a code sample that says, instead of using an alert, it says call a function called juggle. And because juggle isn't defined anywhere, this will probably simply break my code and just make it not run at all. If we were executing that code path, which we're not, so let's go back and make sure that we're executing the broken code path, and sort of nothing happens at all. So there certainly are limits to using this environment for exercising code out of the JavaScript Head First book. But for example, one thing that does work is if instead of alerts, you're using the document write feature that comes along later in that same chapter. That feature does work. And you see woof, woof over here in your results. So thought that would be helpful to see. It's a little easier to show than to explain.